They say that the role of a harbor is to be a safe place for those to grow, learn, and to be prepared for the open seas of life. At times, a harbor can be a haven for peace, security, a reflection of one's progress, and the opportunity to strengthen lives and abilities to the best of one's potential and to prepare for the voyage of life. A harbor can also offer a guiding light as one ventures out into the world, knowing that the harbor will always be there in time of need. All those who provide support at the harbor have to be able to recognize the need, the level of guidance, and possess the passion and experience to help light the way toward hope in a very uncertain world. For over 50 years, we at Harbor begin each day empowering our students to embrace each and every day as a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to experience life with its rewards and challenges. Upon their arrival, each and every day, our students are presented with a new start to learn from the previous day and rejoice in the arrival of new opportunities. Hi, my name is Ann Gonteski, and I'm the principal of the Harbor School. I became the principal here in 1993, and for the past 50 years, Harbor School has offered a comprehensive and individualized program to meet the needs of a diversity of students. The story of how Harbor School came to be prior to my becoming the principal is quite remarkable.
The school was started actually by a group of parents, mainly from Ocean Township. They were being told by their special education people that their child needed a specific type of a program, but there was no place to get it. So they decided to start their own school. They started Harbor School in Tower Hill. And originally there was maybe 4 classrooms. I was a teacher for 2 years. And then our director left. I was made acting director. While I was at Tower Hill, I met Ruth because she was the child study team coordinator for Monmouth County at that time. And it was her responsibility to oversee all special education in Monmouth County. But the school really started to grow at that point, and it was too small. We couldn't do a lot of things at Tower Hill.
It was very interesting how our friendship developed, because from going to visit Harbor School and talking with Jean, I realized that we really had a very similar philosophy about education and many other things. And we were out to dinner with our husbands one evening, and one of them said, or my husband said, "Did you tell Jean what you were thinking?" And then it all came out that both of us had wanted to start something and be on our own. Our whole objective was that we didn't like all these layers that people had to go through to start something new or to deal with a child in a different way. We wanted to be able to walk down the hall and have someone say, "Hey, I have a great idea." And we'd listen and say, "Go for it."
When I first started working at Harbor School, there were TAs in pretty much every class had a TA, and only a few kids here and there that needed extra help had a one-on-one. And I've seen progressively over the past 10 years that now there's no TAs, it's more only a few kids don't have a one-on-one because the other children need it. I have a unique perspective because I understand where the parents are coming from, especially when you're coming out of a public school district. They're very defensive. I was too. You're very defensive because you're used to fighting for everything. And when they come here, you can see after a short amount of time that they relax and they know these people care. I can trust them. They really care about my child.
When I first came to Harbor, things were very different 30 years ago. Both from a cultural perspective, the culture of the school, and from how we provided services 30 years ago. Since that time, therapy has become much more collaborative, and we partner with not only the student, but their families, the speech therapist, the physical therapist, the behaviorist on staff, and the social worker on staff.
The one thing that really drew me to Harbor School was the staff. They are such an important part of our school and our students' success, and they're here for the students. And I think that is the biggest difference that I saw between public education and private school. I think when you walk into this sort of environment, you really feel that. It's almost immediate when you walk in the building that it's just a warm environment that you know the students are the primary focus, and you know that the people here truly care about them and want them to do well and be successful.
One of the reasons why I came to the Harbor School was because it was a small, nurturing environment, and I have to say over the years, the nurturing and the individualization, and everyone knows everybody, which I think really lends for a nice social opportunity for our students if it's going to really ease the stress for a parent, and that's really, really important.
We are big family supporters, and that to me is the heart of what we do in this field, and especially here at Harbor. We embrace each family for who they are. We embrace each child for who they are so that they can become the best that they can be. To do that, we offer a variety of different workshops here at Harbor so that they can hear different speakers on different topics such as guardianship, estate planning, behavior support, all of the therapy strategies that we use here so that we can empower our families. We also have had families provide workshops for our staff so that we can look at better strengthening the relationship between our staff and the families that we work with. To me, I think this is really at the heart of what we do every day.
I think when you walk into Harbor School, you immediately feel that it's a special place. I think that when you look down the hallway into the various classrooms, you'll see, a lot of different technology being utilized. You'll see students responding to questions using picture cards, using their own voice, using their AAC devices. You also find students working on the Ellison machine where they're cutting out letters to be hung up on bulletin boards and utilized for different things around the school. Down the hall, you may have various therapists who are working with the students on their sensory needs. See, every day they have a snack sale happening in the room for about an hour. The students are running the cash register, they are taking inventory, they're checking off items that are sold and interacting with the staff who come in. Students here on a weekly basis run a bagel sale where there's an assembly line of of students not only sorting the bagels, packaging forks and knives and napkins. The students are using visual tools to help them through the list. You'll see students taking breaks in the hallway where they're sitting on iPads, watching videos, or bouncing on a trampoline, or being pulled on a scooter. It's just a normal part of our day. And I think that it really is truly embraced here. The students feel that from the staff, and they know that it's special, and they know that they can be happy and safe here.
Working here at the Harbor School with the high school students here gives a very unique opportunity into preparing them for the next step in life, which is graduation. Special education is a challenging field, and I think as the children get ready to graduate and we're preparing them for their next stage in life, we need to do everything in our powers to make sure that they succeed, making sure that they're able to use basic tools in a kitchen to be able to make themselves a meal at the end of the day.
I work with students who are 16 and older, so it's nice to work from the beginning when they're 16, just learning the skills in the classroom, such as following directions and putting certain tasks and things together. And it's nice to see the transformation for when they take those skills out into the community and work at some of the stores we work at, and they follow through and carry over the skills such as following directions and getting along with their peers and being able to be more and more independent. That being said, it leads to graduation, and graduation is usually bittersweet. It's bittersweet because the kids I've worked with for years and years are now graduating and going on out into the real world, and I can only hope they have the skills, the coping skills and the work skills to eventually find a job if that's what they want to do, or a business that they want to work in. It's nice to see when they come back that they have been successful, and I can only hope that we give them the skills they need to live a more independent life in the community.
Come on, everybody.
H is happiness is brought by many. A is achievements we seek for plenty. R is the reasons we do what we do. B is the belief we have in you. O is opportunities we try to make. R is responsibilities we want you to take. We pride ourselves on dedication and patience, which makes Harbor one great place. Which makes Harbor one great place. Which makes Harbor one great place. Which makes Harbor one great place.
I think over the course of my 4 years at Harbor, I've seen some students who have had initially not had a lot of success become very successful, throughout the school day. A student who engaged in multiple, adverse behaviors throughout the day, followed a behavior plan, got rewards consistently, and was the staff never gave up on them. And I think that it shows in the success of the student. They really have turned a corner, where they were having multiple behaviors throughout the course of one day, are now at a point where they're going weeks or even months without any real significant challenges. And that's a testament to what the Harbor School staff does every day.
I have one story where I had a student who could not spell his name using a felt board, and we worked on it every single day, 5-6 times a day. Every time he wrote his name, we made sure that we used this board. And one morning, he put his name correctly on this felt board, and the smile that he looked at me with brought me to tears, because you did it. You accomplished spelling your name. And that is just something, that moment of him looking at me with, I did it. I actually did it. I wrote my name. I spelled my name. That moment will stick in my mind forever.
Over my 30 years here at Harbor, it's really hard to pick out any one student or any one moment that was life-changing, because my whole experience here has been life-changing. So there's one particular situation that occurred last year during the talent show. We had a student who just loved to perform. She had a lot of behavioral challenges. She had a lot of medical challenges, but this girl could sing. And all she wanted to do that day was perform her song at the talent show. And all her mom wanted to do was to see her perform at the talent show. And we were a little on edge, the staff, because this student can be quite unpredictable in her behavior. So we weren't sure how it was going to go. And she got up on stage and she sang her heart out. The glitch was that her mom was late and didn't get to see her perform. So we let her do an encore for her mom. And we were all biting our fingernails because we weren't sure if she was going to be able to get through it again without having a behavior. But her mom stood right in the front row and she sang her heart out to her mom. And I'm going to get a little emotional because the student passed away in the summer. And the memory that I have is seeing her sing that song for her mom. And I'm so grateful that we let her perform that again.
Over the years of being at Harbor School, there have been some students that have, to me, made a significant difference in my life. One of the first 4 students we took out to work after learning the job skills in school and then in the community, he got a job when he graduated at a hotel, and 20 years later he is still working. But he's gotten several promotions and raises, which is really nice. And every now and then he comes back. And when he comes back, it's so nice to see him because he is such a success story.
It's amazing to see them grow here. It's amazing to see them develop skills here. And then, when they finally graduate, you kind of worry about them when they're leaving our nest. And because we're such a close-knit environment, there is this emotional attachment that we do have with our students. So when graduation day comes, you will see many of us tearing up because we have worked with these students for 10, 15 years. And so it is hard for us to say goodbye. It is hard for the parents to say goodbye. We have been a very sheltered, kind of like protective environment for them. We've been their family for the length of their school career.
We have created a family here. We're not coworkers, we're a family. We do what we need to do to get through the day, but we do it as a team. There's no I in team. And these kids need all the support that we can offer them. And I definitely find that here at the Harbor School, we work as a team to make sure that every student gets what they need and deserves. And we try our best to make sure that we are throwing different ideas out and we're sharing ideas, and even between colleagues and teachers, if one of us has a great idea, going and sharing it, not holding it for yourself, or if you see a teacher doing something and, ooh, I want to try that in my classroom, everyone here is so willing to help and share all the wealth of information that they have. Nobody keeps it for themselves, and that's what I think makes Harbor School so amazing. I've never felt more of a family-like community than working here.
It's a wonderful thing to see how many people's lives, not just the children, but the adults that take care of the children, to see how they have grown. And we are very thankful that we were able to do something like this.
Eventually, a ship must leave the safety of the harbor to venture out and face continued challenges with determination, perseverance, and hope in pursuit of one's dreams.